Hi, I'm Robert Gibbs. I'm the incoming White House Press Secretary. We've just finished our second round of Open for Questions, which allows you to ask the transition any question you want and vote on which questions we should answer. It's part of our goal of making this transition the most open and transparent of any in history. And the response has been really inspiring. Over 100,000 people participated, asking 72,000 questions and casting 4.5 million votes for the questions that you wanted answered most. 5 times the amount of participation we had in the first round. So let's answer some questions. JGP in Seattle asked, what strategies other than bailouts can we employ to keep jobs in America? It's a great question, and the President-elect has already tasked his economic team with coming up with the American Recovery and Reinvestment Plan, which will save or create 3 million jobs and get our economy moving forward again by making long-term investments in green technologies and green jobs, investing in healthcare reform through health IT, creating jobs that can't leave this country, investing in infrastructure that put people back to work immediately. Dan in New Jersey asks, I know many teachers that are familiar with the No Child Left Behind Act. They think while the intention of the act was good, it falls far short of its intended goals. How will you improve or change this act? Dan, it's a great question. The President-elect talked a lot about this during the campaign. The first thing we need to fix No Child Left Behind is increase the funding that was promised to schools throughout this country in order to implement No Child Left Behind. And the federal government also has to pick up its historical tab for special education. We also need to continue to give teachers the resources they need to educate our children each day. Secondly, we have to fix assessments. We can't just teach to the test every time, and we have to give teachers the ability to know what's working each and every day in the classroom. John from Chicago asks, will transit and intercity rail projects be a major component of the infrastructure stimulus package rather than focusing on highway projects? Yes, John, transit and intercity rail projects will be a major component of the President-elect's infrastructure program. Not only will they provide jobs to help get this economy moving again, but they'll reduce our dependence on foreign oil, cut the amount of carbon in our atmosphere, clean our air, and more importantly, improve the quality of life for millions of Americans. Dan Fisher from Sacramento asks, how will the Obama administration encourage the future generations of Americans to become the world's leading scientists and engineers? Dan, I heard the President-elect say many times during the campaign that it was time to put science back into our decision-making process and to finally have scientists and engineers involved in policy-making decisions every day in the White House. He'll restore science to our decision-making process, put real scientists in charge of things in the White House, and make sure that decisions aren't based on ideology, but on facts. And the President-elect will also make science education a priority again and make sure that our young people are exposed to the scientific process through their education each day. Victor in San Diego asks, in all other first world countries, there's a minimum level of universal health care for all citizens. What will your administration do to provide truly universal, affordable health care for all U.S. citizens, regardless of employment status? Victor, the President-elect said many times that he will ensure that every American has access to affordable health care. Just in the last week, thousands of people from all over the country during the holidays took time out to get together in churches and fire stations in their homes and discuss what urgently needs to be done to make sure that we can provide every American with affordable health care. The response was truly encouraging, but it also underscored that it's one of the most significant problems facing this new administration in our country today. And lastly, Victor, the President-elect is committed to starting health care reform by day one by ensuring that a true investment in healthcare IT, in reducing medical errors and unwanted health care costs are done through the economic recovery and stimulus plan that he's asked his economic team to work on right now. Thaddeus from Lansing, Michigan asks, is the new administration going to get rid of the don't ask, don't tell policy? Thaddeus, you don't hear a politician give a one-word answer much, but it's yes. Thanks for everybody that took time out of the holidays to log on, ask questions, and vote for the ones that they wanted to hear answered today. But more importantly, the President-elect has asked every one of us to get involved. The only way that we're going to tackle the problems and the many questions that you logged on and asked and voted for is for people like you to stay involved each and every day, to push your lawmakers and to push this new administration to do what you know is right. Thanks for participating.